You know, there's only really one thing, I think, that's keeping Jesus from returning. He's waiting. There's just one thing.
2,000 years after Jesus came, there's still a third of the world who's never had a chance to respond to the gospel. That's shameful. If we have Jesus' heart in us, then we will love the people and the things that he loves. And we'll be heartbroken for the things that break his heart. His heart is always for those who are not part of his family. And if we're part of his family, then we will have the same heart for them.
Ultimately, our eye is on those unreached places, 8,500 of them, that still need a movement of God. And our normal evangelism and discipleship and church planting efforts, they're not keeping pace. You know, we often celebrate the amazing numbers of new baptisms, but if you compare it with the birth rate, we're losing ground. And what we're about is kingdom movements. In reality, what we mean by that is church planting movements, where disciples, churches, leaders are multiplying generation by generation, well past 4, 5, 8 generations. We just see a movement starting. It's like the book of Acts. And in the book of Acts, what happened was just the kingdom of God broke loose. But when we see these Acts movements emerge, these church planting movements, for the first time we're finding we're exceeding the population rate. I want to be a part of a generation that numbers our days to say, could we, with urgency, do what Jesus said, which was the most important thing on his heart? Without that sense of a deadline, we pretty much do ministry as always. But when we say, what would happen if we did it by 2025, every group engaged with an effective kingdom movement strategy by 2025, it's like we have to start tomorrow.
By recognizing it's just an audacious, crazy, even scary goal, we've put ourselves in a position where we know God called us to it and we know God's the one who's going to do it. We really pray that believers, churches, organizations, movements all around the world would have the privilege of being a part of this together.
That's what we're calling upon the global church to do. Is we need to, from India to Indonesia to the US to Canada, it doesn't matter where, we all need to be a part of this global effort.
We're inviting you to be a part of what God's doing, to see every person and every people group, every nation, every tribe, every language reached with the good news of Jesus Christ. What else could you give your life to that would have greater meaning?
This is the first time we've had the finish line in sight and have had the ability to finish what Jesus gave. A lot of other generations before us have faithfully run their part in this race, but someone's going to run the final lap. Why not us?